It's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you since '89. I feel like.
You, yeah. 89. Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, we went to. You were our high school band roadie.
Correct.
Remember this? We had a ska band in high school, 3 blocks to Murdoch.
I remember this. Yeah.
And you were like our friend who just kind of like loitered around. You were like a hype man, like boosted morale. We were like, this guy's pretty sweet. And then you just slowly, before we knew it, you were the roadie, and we made a song for you.
I'm around all the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you wrote a song. I've had 2 bands write songs about me.
Incredible. Because didn't you, like, there was a minute there where you bought a truck and you, like, wanted to roadie full-time and be like a tour manager, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One day, I'm still hoping for that.
Yeah?
Still hoping for the call for Mr. Newski. Hey, need a truck driver. I have my CDL.
Well, we're trying to get to the level where we can hire a full-time driver, man. That would be glorious.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Our infrastructure is relatively DIY at the moment. I know you got a couple kids, so I'm not sure how much bacon we can send home with you.
Yeah, that might be, an issue, but could work it out. Bring them along.
So what happened post college? I mean, I hadn't seen you in a while, and then you were driving truck for a minute. Did you have any good road stories driving truck?
I mean, it was a while ago. Getting my CDL was interesting. Went to WCTC. Met a lot of weird people trying to get their CDL.
What's a CDL?
It's a commercial driver's license.
Okay.
So you need that in order to drive the big trucks. Yeah, just some weird dudes. One guy was obsessed with the idea of running into an armadillo.
Okay. Like running one over or just seeing one?
Yeah, he thought it would be like a big bump. Like they were like made out of metal or something. I don't know. That guy he didn't make it. He didn't get his CDL. Another guy, we're doing our trip planning exercise, and he was wanting to figure out how, like, because he knew that truck stops there's barbers. He was trying to figure in, like, how much time is it going to be for a haircut? And I just remember being like, just not excited about dealing with those guys. But yeah, I got my first job, big company in Wisconsin. Yeah, I mean, dealing with crazy drivers, watching lots of accidents happen, and dealing with prostitution, I guess.
Yeah, that's a thing, huh?
Interesting. Yeah, lot lizards. That's a real thing.
Wow. So you pull up, you're like at a truck stop in northern Wisconsin, and someone knocks on your window?
The worst I had, it was near Detroit.
Okay.
That was the worst. All night, just someone banging on your door, trying to, like, you have to tell them to go away or they keep banging.
Dang.
And it's all night. It'll be like, yeah, someone will come drop them all off, and then they just go from truck to truck and rolling the dice, I guess.
Oh, that's dark. So there's like a pimp situation?
I'm sure it's not nice.
Dang.
But yeah, the first time was in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. That was the first encounter I had with a lot lizard.
Okay.
Yeah, she messed my mirrors up. She banged on my door. I opened the curtain to see what was going on. Mm-hmm. And then she keeps asking if I wanted a date. That's the code talk, the code lingo.
How much is a date, you
think? I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. It can't be that much.
Are a lot of these folks on drugs, or is it?
It seems, yeah. The one, yeah. Yeah, at night, you should go to a truck stop at night and just kind of look, and you'll see them all crawling around.
I remember coming back from a tour, Philadelphia overnight drive back to Wisconsin. We stopped somewhere in like rural Pennsylvania at a 24-hour rest stop, and it was like this jumbo truck stop where there was like a little bar, and then there was the gas station, and then there was another little saloon,
a compound,
and then there was a porn shop. Yeah, it was like a compound, but we went into the main gas station, and there was just like people like standing around, just not shopping.
Just people like,
they were like, it was like an opioid vibe or something.
Yeah, doing nothing, looking like they're gonna do nothing, but just around. And
what is that?
Milling around. It's truck stops.
They just walk around the truck stop.
They mill around. Yeah.
Is there an agenda? Like
no idea.
Okay,
no idea.
It was one of the most mysterious, strange, creepy things.
Yeah, truck stops in the middle of the night. It's like yeah, it feels weird. It's like alive, but everyone's not doing anything. But there's a lot of people moving.
Yeah, it's like this opioid
outside.
Haze vibe.
Total just zombie walking around. Yeah.
Is it? Do you ever get spooked out, like when you have to sleep in the truck overnight in the middle of nowhere, or any sketchy
Depending
stuff?
on where I was, yeah. Like the Detroit area was rough. Not a lot of places to park, so side of the road and whatnot, and neighborhoods that you don't know about.
Yeah.
You know, you
8
just
Mile.
roll up. Yeah, total. Yeah, just run down has been towns. Those are scary.
Yeah, I remember going to Detroit 12, 13 years ago on like a ramshackle tour, and
Yeah,
I mean, the place it looked like a war zone.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, like Gotham City-esque, and there'd be like a cool coffee shop, but then it'd be just surrounded by bombed out like
just
drug
like yeah,
houses.
houses that are just have nothing going on and haven't for a while.
Like a tree growing through one
Like,
of them.
people probably died in some of those houses type of vibe.
Weren't they selling them like 12
For, like,
years ago
nothing?
for
Yeah.
like $10?
Yeah,
and now they're worth
it's
money, dude. Yeah,
the full circle.
yeah.
The craziest thing I saw was it was after the tornado in Joplin, Missouri.
Oh, okay. You were
And,
driving through
yeah,
there?
well, yeah, it was like, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week after, and I didn't really put two and two together. So, but I drove down like the main drag, and it was I've never seen anything like it. Just
Whoa.
like debris, no buildings, just
No buildings.
yeah, like just like
Wait, the main street? It demolished all the main street
I
buildings?
remember going down some main main type of street, and where like there's houses and businesses and stuff, and like nothing was there but just piles of like boards and
Whoa.
yeah.
My
it was,
buddy
it was
Carter
weird.
Halsey's from there. I played in Joplin like 10 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, a famous home to Jackass star Preston Lacey.
Oh,
And he would go to the shows and stuff. Preston
fun.
Lacey's coming to the show
that's
tonight.
the
right.
the bigger guy.
Yeah,
Big guy.
big guy.
Yeah,
But yeah, Carter said he drove through there. He saw like an arm on the side of the road after
I believe it.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, that was kind of. Yeah, I remember driving through there like, shit, this is something real. This is real, like this is
Damn.
weird.
What's kind of any other spooky places you've been that was kind of otherworldly in the United States?
Everywhere on the East Coast is not fun. Never had a good time on the East
There's
Coast.
no room out there, right?
There's no
to
room.
drive.
There's nowhere to park. And with truck drivers, there's a lot of stuff going to the East Coast, but not a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So you'll go there and then wait for dispatch to find something, and that could be a couple days.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
So they just put you in a hotel and you just wait.
No, you sleep in the truck. You
Really?
go, yeah. Yeah, and you got to move around too. You can't just stay in the same place for a couple days. Well,
Bizarre.
yeah, depending on where you're at, but yeah.
Well, that had
East
to
Coast
be.
is
How do you
rough.
kill time out there? How do you not lose your mind?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just walk around. You're part of the milling about, probably.
Yeah.
That's probably what some of that. Now I'm figuring it out. Just a bunch of people waiting around for something. I mean, that's kind of just going
Loitering, man.
yeah.
So what
Waiting.
happens? Are the CB radios still a factor?
CBs, yeah, it's gross. Yeah, I remember when I first got my driving job, I bought a brand new CB, hooked it all up. I was taking my first load from Cudahy down south somewhere, and I had my seat. I thought I was the coolest dude, rocking my brand new right out. Box is still in the back of the cab, And got to the first place where I was making a delivery, and I couldn't back into the dock correctly. I'm a new driver at that point, so backing is not something they really teach you. They say you'll figure it out. I mean, they do, because it's hard to you got to do it a bunch and then you figure it out. And I had all the room in the world. It was parking between two other trucks that were in the loading dock. And I had all the room in the world, and having that CB on was rough. They would be giving it to me.
Oh, they making fun of you?
Making fun of. Oh yeah, no help whatsoever. Or if there was help, you got to be leery of the help on the CB, because they could. Oh yeah, you got room, and then you hit something.
Really?
They think it's great. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, that's
because
happened.
maybe they're competitive drivers or from other companies, or they're just bored.
It's just bored,
yeah.
not being a nice person.
What happens if you like crash even mildly into something else?
Yeah, that like backing up, that happens all the time. People would hit me backing up, and I
Yeah.
would, if it wasn't like, I mean, no one really cares. I mean, some
Yeah.
people probably care, but I've, a little bit of trailer rash.
Let's
That's what they
say-
call it. That's fine. It's not my truck.
Let's say they got there's like a, God forbid, more nasty accident. Does that come out of your paycheck?
No, that would be, if you're a company driver, that wouldn't. But if you're an owner operator or you're leasing,
Okay.
then yeah, that's where, there's some companies that have a real predatory type leasing program.
Sure.
Where, they'll train you from not having a CDL, they'll train you to get your CDL. And then after they train you, you have to sign a contract saying that you'll work for them for like 2 years or something.
Okay.
And then you don't have to pay for the training. So the training price will be super inflated. It'll be like $5,000 when like my training costs like $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you're locked in for 2 years, or you have to pay this crazy fee. And then after you're trained, they'll say something like, "Oh, we don't have any company trucks available, but we do have this leasing program."
Oh, geez.
And then you turn into, they talk you up like you're going to be owning your own business and all that, but really it's just
That's dark.
pass it, because you have to, all the maintenance is done at their place. It's all, for them. And a lot of drivers get wrapped up in that.
And were you warned about that? So you weren't.
I almost signed on with one of them, because at the time coming up with $1,000 for training was kind of
Sure.
like, yeah, right. But yeah, I kind of saw that it was not a good thing.
What are some of the other like weird things you've heard on CB radios? Because that's kind of infamous, right?
A lot of prostitution at the truck stops and in the cities. Lots
Okay.
of prostitutes on there, hawking their
kidding.
wares. Yeah.
Wow. Like
Yeah.
free dirty talk to lure truckers in?
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
hear tons of that. Yeah, you get within 20 miles of a, Milwaukee-sized place, Chicago.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it just it's like, it's funny for a little bit, then it's like,
Yeah, sure.
gets depressing and gross.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, CBs, I kept it after that first because sometimes you have to have them for, if you go to a shipper, they'll have you wait somewhere like across the street, and then they'll call you up on the CB
Okay.
when there's a door open for you. But not a lot of useful information. I was hoping it'd be like, Smokey and the Bandit, like, we got the chicken coops open, everyone, the way stations, telling you how
Yeah.
to. None of that. Or they'll lie to you.
Or you chat to like a funny trucker. You'd think there'd be characters out there.
Yeah,
but you
I
didn't-
thought it would be like some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of was. There was, I mean, I don't know. I never got much use out of it.
Sure.
But
Well, on a fairly unrelated note, which I'm thinking about like our next album campaign, I want to do like a call line, like a hotline, where you call in and we pay you to send us hate mail, and then we play the hate mail on either the pod or on Instagram.
that sounds like fun.
It could be fun,
Yeah.
especially if we'll get some real hate mail, but then we'll get people who like our band
Real hate mail.
writing hate mail, and I think that could be like a funny.
You get hate mail? Is that a thing?
Not
like a
much,
real thing?
but we do. Yeah, I mean, like a couple times a year, get some hate mail.
Interesting.
You
like
have
someone's
to.
taking their time out of their day to like
Yeah, I mean
write you
more.
an Instagram type
Yeah,
of thing.
more commonly they'll just be like a few comments on like a video on YouTube, or like this guy fucking sucks, or like
Yeah.
this guy can't sing, stuff like that.
That's weird. I always thought
Yeah.
that was a weird move for people to comment just like mean, like just like
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
I never had that feeling where it's like, gotta let this guy know that
A lot of rage on the web.
not a yeah, there is, but I don't do reviews either, so I probably
Yeah, we'll start writing long positive reviews to trigger the algorithm. Actually, what
Trigger
the
the
dark truth is, if you start fights in the comments, that will trigger the algorithm.
Oh,
so
really?
if you
Okay.
maybe you battle some of the people who don't like us, and then people
I'll
respond,
battle, yeah.
they team up, and then all of a sudden you got 600 comments, and the video's like, "Boo!" Woo! Controversy.
Lots of activity. All right.
Controversy sells. Levi William
Interesting.
Carl Reeme.
Interesting.
So how long were your shifts in, like, were you like doing 10-hour plows on the truck or what?
Yeah, I mean, I was out for a week or two at a time, like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's regulated. There's, you got 80 hours within your work week that you can work. And then within that 80 hours, you could work 14 hours a day. And in that 14 hours, you could drive for 11.
Okay.
So you had, clock started when you went on duty, and it's all logged in a logbook. Super exciting stuff.
And then you had a couple kids, right? Two?
Yep, two kids. Boy
Is that
and a
when
girl.
you were like trying to get out of the trucking game?
That was right after I got out. It was right after. Yeah, I haven't been trucking since they've been born.
And now you're running the show at the Milwaukee County Airport.
That's right. I'm running the whole airport.
Nice.
No, I'm not running the airport. I'm part of the fuel storage team.
Okay, so you just make sure all the planes have like full tanks when they land?
Just make sure there's fuel at the airport.
Okay.
Make sure quality's good.
Any weird stories from the airport?
Nothing weird.
Terrorism threats, sketchy characters.
There was a naked guy on the ramp a couple years ago. That was, I didn't see it, but that was talked about.
Okay.
There's
just a mentally deranged guy, or was he just doing a stunt, or
maybe intoxicated? I forget, but
there's a lot of drunk tank bars right around the airport.
Oh, there's the whole area around the airport's a little interesting.
Yeah, there's this place we used to go for fish fries right across. It's called like the glider, or the airplane, and it's a fish fry.
Amelia's?
No, but there's an airplane on the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like
right. Yeah, I know where you're talking.
It's like a completely shot, like
it's like a drive-in fish fry
greasy
place
fish
a while
fry.
ago.
Yeah. Wisconsin. Those of you not from Wisconsin, we have some hilarious supper clubs, dive bars. Just crusty fish fry Friday night cocktail joints.
I still do.
It's amazing.
Every Friday night we get a fish fry.
Do you?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you drink beer or cocktails or?
No. Haven't drank anything in 7 years.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we ever partied together early on. I don't think so.
All of our times were very wholesome and just late nights. It was before boozing became like
because we never partied in high school.
Thing.
I never drank booze in high school.
We only hung out when we were doing like 3 Blocks to Murdoch stuff. So whenever I was just hanging around you guys practicing for I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember that was the beautiful part about being a high school kid is like you'd have nothing to do. So we would just go practice on a Sunday and then we'd hang out the entire day.
The whole day and
sleep
the whole night.
over.
Yeah.
And it might even turn into like a 48-hour straight hang.
Yeah.
I remember
and no booze. No booze or drugs or it was all like parents would have been on board if they actually knew what was going. Just a lot of immature talk, I guess.
Just getting weird,
Yeah.
Like we would go. Remember, we would steal bagels out of the dumpster and then just throw bagels at cars.
Yeah. I don't think we. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, eating a dumpster bagel or two. I remember spending the night. It was at Dan's place, and he had a shelf, like 3 shelves in his room.
Dan, the trumpet player.
Yeah, 3 shelves in his room that had like ceramic lighthouses, like a collection.
Okay.
And I remember like. The fuck's going on with the lighthouses? I don't know. That was a funny
like a Christmas village.
Yeah, but it was in his river, like his,
Well, that room was legendary because it only fit like maybe 3 people. It was like the little attic point room, the pointy room.
Yeah.
But we would have the whole ska band in there, like plus you, so it'd be like 8 or 9 people, 3 people piled on the bed, like a bunch of people on the floor, just incredible slumber parties.
Fun
in the summer.
stuff.
Good times.
Yeah, lots of just like. Late nights. I remember just like always being out at night, but not doing like just driving around, cruising.
Yeah, cruising Highway 100.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, lots of
kids would go up and down that road with their fancy cars and
try
to get girls to show their boobs, or
Yeah, that was a big thing.
People would talk shit to like the bros and the macho cars, which is probably not a good idea.
It was fun. No, fuck them. That was fun. Yeah, that stuff's fun. Yeah, I enjoy controversy, confrontation.
In adult life, have you had any controversy?
Not confrontation. I always think is fun when it's like a real, fuck you.
Anyone give you shit lately, or
all the time? I mean, nothing like notable, but just like lots of stuff. Where you're right, and it's like no, I'm right, you're wrong. Do what I say. Like that's always fun. I don't know. I find that stuff kind of fun.
Well, you're not a man I'd want to cross. You're a big fella.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you have fighting skills or
no?
Okay.
No, I've never fought in my entire life.
Remember when we were like 16 and we drove up to Oshkosh to watch Gin Blossoms?
I was thinking about that. Yeah,
we tried to buy beer.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like it was a couple times where you were like, just asked you, like, hey, you want to go see this show? And be like, all right. Like I had no idea. I'm not a big music guy. Probably a hot take for the pod, but.
Well, no, we must have been 18 or 19. Drove up to Oshkosh to watch Gin Blossoms.
I was younger.
You were younger.
I think, because
you had a beard.
Yeah.
But
I've had a beard forever. Yeah,
Levi, try to go buy beer. You have a beard.
Yeah,
and you went in and tried to buy a 6-pack, and they were like, "Hey, you got an ID?" And you're like, "No, but I got this beard."
That's right.
It didn't work.
Yeah, no, that's I was pretty ballsy in my youth. I remember it was your 18th birthday. I forget who. It was like you and a bunch of other people were gonna go to the cigar shop and get a cigar and then go to the porn shop.
Sure.
And I remember going to the cigar shop and I was able to buy one and I wasn't 18.
Sure.
And they didn't card me, but they carded you.
That was a big deal when, in the early 2000s when you turned 18.
Yeah, that was like maybe.
Smoke a cigar and go to the pea shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah, I remember that was big because we would buy like dildos and then or singular. We bought a dildo and would like use it as a prank, and it would make its way through the friend group as pranks, and you would hide it in people's bags. And
I got
good times.
I got some paraphernalia like that from the old days.
Still stashed away?
I don't know why. Yeah, in a box somewhere. It should be thrown away now that I'm reminded of it. But I do know of a piece of paraphernalia I have from a friend. Like
a smoking device?
No.
Like a dildo?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or it's, I don't know.
Remember so this is pre-internet, like high school. There was the VHS that became infamous around New Berlin West High School titled Big Dill.
Oh,
that was just
Big Dill.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Apparently there was a dildo in the video like the size of a tree or like the size of a man.
Yeah.
And it would you would hear ruminations around the halls like, oh, the VHS of Big Dill, like Brian has it now, or now it went to Bean and he's like trying to rent it to people because no one could watch porn.
Yeah, that was an interesting time before the internet was a real thing for young folk.
The mystique, the
lots
magic.
Of finding magazines on like playgrounds and stuff. I remember that was a thing. But yeah, Big Dill.
Dang. I mean, I never found like pornos in the woods or anything.
I would.
You would?
I
You'd
wouldn't
find them in
seek
the
it
woods?
out. It's not like I'm a truffle hunter for porn, but like I remember just like coming across like there'd be DVDs on the side of the road and stuff.
Really?
I remember, because I lived across the street from Calhoun, so there was that playground, and I remember they had like these tires, like giant tractor tires for like play equipment, and like in the tires there was always like magazines.
God. What a creepy place for people to store prawn.
Yeah. Well, where else you can't take, These are children that have it. They're
like high school kids, or Calhoun was like a middle school.
Calhoun was elementary.
Elementary.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That'd probably be some sort of crime now.
Oh yeah,
or something. Yeah, they'd
since closed.
Figure out who it originally. Yeah, it's a mega church now.
Calhoun School.
Yeah.
A lot of money in mega church.
Apparently, yeah. There's tons of it.
Might want to do that. I mean, it's perhaps I've talked about this before, but I think it'd just be an incredible documentary, and our band I don't think has the sack to pull this off, but like if you just pose as like a Christian rock band for a couple of years and see how much money you can make, work the circuit, and then at the end of the doc you unveil, you're like, yo, we were just doing this for the film or whatnot.
Yeah,
it'd be really interesting.
That would be, yeah, there's a lot of things like that would be interesting, but you need people to be game for a while.
It'd be like an Eric Andre type thing, somebody with like enormous iron nuts who'd go for that. I'm just too scared of offending people, I think. At least on that level.
Yeah. I mean, you want to like not offend but poke fun. That's hard to do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of darkness to like the Christian rock circuit,
really?
Exploiting like young musicians, kids, flying them all over the country. The promoter takes 80% of the money. I mean, just classic kind of.
Is there big money in Christian rock?
Yeah, big money.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you've got you've got really wealthy donors, plus you've got church sponsored events, so you have like the stash of money going toward a little Christ festival or whatnot.
So do they like tour? Like, is there like a church rock tour?
Yeah, you can go to mega churches. You can play like regionally, 2 sets, 3 sets on a Sunday. They'll fly in like once or twice a year. They'll fly in like a famous, Christian rock artist, and they'll play the mega church for whatever, 20, 30, 40, 60 grand. So
yeah, you got to get into that.
I don't know. I wish I was religious, because then I would.
I don't think you have to be. I mean, I think you just do it. Who's gonna know?
Yeah,
and if they poke at it, oh, look at what you said before, just say you've changed.
I mean, there's 2 ways that I could do it. And A, if I liked that sort of music, yeah, sure. Or B, if I just was all about the Lord and Savior, which I
remember
fine, then I'd be in.
You remember Skateland?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have like all night skates, and it would be like some like Christian rock bass. So like all the music would. Yeah, I remember going to those as a young person.
You lift me up,
all that, yeah.
Make me believe.
It sounds like normal music if you don't listen to the.
Well, I think the bands on like the fringes. Creed is having like a huge revival right now. They're probably the world's most famous Christian rock band, but they like wouldn't. I mean, it was kind of obvious, but they would never.
Yeah,
like,
I
come
remember
out
that was
as
like a thing.
Yeah,
like, it was like, oh, you Christian rock, dude. Yeah, it's yeah. I remember there was this.
I listened to an interview with Scott Stapp, the singer, and he was the only real religious guy in the band, and he was writing the lyrics. But the band itself, they didn't want to be a Christian rock band. He said they just wanted to be a rock band and have everything that comes with it. The party, the girls, whatever.
The songs is,
yeah, and they didn't know
Jesus in there.
They didn't know he was like sneaking Jesus in there, so they were bummed when that became like lead in the press. Creed is Christian rock, because I don't know how much it hurt them or hurt their ticket sales. I think it made people maybe make fun of them more, but
it seems the Christian rock thing. It always was to me seemed fake rock. Like it wasn't. They weren't a real band type of thing, but they were playing music like everyone else.
Well, I think there are bands that like are bona fide Christian rock that subscribe, believe in the whole trajectory, the scripture and everything. And then there's bands that like maybe started as Christian rock but got corrupted by the rock and roll, and now they party and perform adultery and do lots of sex. But the lyrics are still like hitting that market.
That's interesting. Yeah, because then like is all of country Christian country?
No, I don't think so. But that's an interesting point,
of Jesus
because
talking, a lot of the country music.
Yeah, I mean those. I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm not a music guy in general, so I have zero idea.
Man, I mean, I know Levi Reeme as a music freak from high school. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Blink-182 is like your.
That's the jam. My daughter knows almost all the lyrics to Aliens Exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. that is on repeat in my car.
What a great, easily the greatest pop punk band of all time. It just, in a genre that doesn't usually age very well, like you turn on Blink-182, that stuff just ages so well,
It's fun. It's fun that a lot of people, like, they love it when they're listening to it, but they say they hate it.
Really?
I know a lot, yeah.
Okay. I feel like
Or they don't, or it doesn't get talked about. Like if you say, "Oh, Blink-182 is awesome,"
I think
people are
they
like,
always.
yeah, there's better bands than that.
Oh, really? I
And
feel
it's
like they're
yeah, but
universally
pretty-
praised. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they just were so funny that they were hard to make fun of because they just had such great senses of humor and great songwriters, and like the songs would have.
the Mark,
Funny-
Tom, and Travis show.
Yeah,
was
that
like
was an
the best
amazing
thing that's
live
ever
album.
been- ever been
Unbelievable.
recorded.
Like great songs, intense live takes mixed with like dick joke banter.
Yeah.
It was gold for anyone in high
That's-
school or
yeah,
college.
That
you know?
was my jam back in the day for sure. Is that on repeat?
But
And I was living it through 3 Blocks to Murdoch.
That's right. Because Ben and I went and saw this was 10 years ago now, but Blink did like a reunion original lineup, and Tom would go into like intense dick jokes, and Mark would try to cut him off like mid banter. He'd be like, no. And it was like
Mark's the
Mark
real-
had grown up. Tom was still doing the jokes, and you could tell like
That's how
the
all
chemistry
friend
was
groups
whack.
are. Yeah, that's how all friend groups are. But no, I don't know. It was when everyone started going to college and whatnot. I was hanging out with a group of folks in the River West area, and they were into, like hardcore punk stuff.
Yeah.
And that was never my thing, but all my friends, that's what they were all into.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's probably why I stopped liking music. I don't know.
The hardcore stuff turned you off?
Yeah, I was never
Yeah.
a fan. I've been to a ton of shows because my friends were in bands, but never really enjoyed it.
It's a fascinating scene, like that hardcore punk scene.
So yeah, all the people are cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all cool people, but just I guess that's what I'm talking about when people are like, oh, you like if I'm like Blink-182 is the best, they're like, dude, we're so much deeper than that now.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know. But,
I can see like the appeal of like the primal like just catharsis of going nuts at a punk show, but like I'm such a pussy and like music without melody to me, it's just like doesn't register. But
sure.
if I'm in a hard spot, I'll go to a underground basement punk show with you and just like
Yeah.
Sweat and scream.
Yeah,
it'll be a one
just
night
being
only.
around sweaty people that lyrics you can't understand. You don't know if they're singing or growling or
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
It might be more about the therapy than like the audio, I don't know.
yeah. No, I don't know. A lot of recreational poverty at those shows too. A lot of people thinking they're, trying to be downtrodden really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term before. That's good.
I think, I've coined it. Recreational poverty.
That's great.
What all those crusty folks are.
Yeah, I have noticed that. And you can't always tell, but like there's plenty of kiddos with plenty of money who pretend to have none for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool to have no money
all of my
now.
friends. Yeah, all of my friends from that. Yeah. Yeah, they're all good people. It's just I never took part in the
It is like everyone loves a good like I came from nothing story.
Yeah, or just loving that fake suffering or something. I don't know. It drives me nuts.
The romanticism.
Maybe, or just thinking, yelling at you for buying a coffee or something,
Right. I mean, I get it in a sense that like I grew up middle class, middle upper class.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my folks were affluent, but like,
You were in the big neighborhood.
Yeah, it was a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, you were in
nice lawn to play football on.
Yeah.
So like I can see like it's probably part of the reason I like went and lived on $4 a day in Asia.
Yeah, but what you did was different than what I'm considering. You went and got an experience. You went and actually did, you lived in Vietnam and shit. You didn't just, aren't just going to college, racking up student loans for your English degree,
That's a dark thought, like specifically racking up student loans for the scene cred of recreational poverty.
Oh man. Yeah. I know a lot of people that they weren't like going to school, but they were getting like, oh yeah, next month I'll get my loans will come in. So I'll have like no one that I knew the college time worked. They all just had these loans and would have parties and
shit.
Yeah, it was
And
weird.
now they're probably fucked.
Well, yeah, I think their degrees, I mean,
Damn.
I think it's our generation kind of got the raw end of the. Oh yeah, just get student loans and go to school. and you'll be fine.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, get a degree in anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was certainly the turbine or the
weird.
narrative or the trance, you know.
Yeah.
So-
I'd stayed far away from it.
Nice move. Did you go to a tech school or did you just start working right away?
I stopped going to high school sophomore year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I started working full time.
No
It was
shit.
like the summer, probably going
didn't
into
know
my
that.
junior year.
Okay.
Yeah, the summer before the junior year.
It's not a bad move.
I just worked at Sears Automotive full time.
Were your parents pissed or anything? Or
No.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They never were big into like, you know, some parents I knew were real into like, going to college, that's what you're doing. My parents were never, they were like, whatever, figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
college talk was not happening in my house.
Smart move.
I mean, it's fine. I've worked out.
I mean,
Got my GED.
if I was to go back, I'm trying to think. If I was to go back in time, I would probably do the same thing you did. I would have like dropped out of high school and like moved to Los Angeles and started
You
like
just yell,
Yeah.
in my fashion, would be yell at all the teachers and then still do fine. Like tell them all to fuck off, stop talking to me. Or else I'll stop. I remember that was
you would mouth off to teachers.
Yeah, that was a big thing. And
I don't remember
end
you
of
being
high
a
school.
dickhead to anyone though, or you just kind of flipped out at the end. Or what?
Towards the end, I think I kind of got just tired of
Yeah.
teachers. It wasn't all the teachers. There's some good teachers, but
I guess while the world and the community would like judge you hard for dropping out of high school, like
I
looking,
never dropped out. I
look-
just stopped going. Never officially dropped out. Never signed. No, I just stopped going.
but looking back, it's like, well, that was actually a pretty advanced move. Like you didn't need it. Why not? You know how to read. You know how to write. Let's just start making money and
that's
learning
what-
skills.
yeah. Everyone, when they get done with college, has to figure it out. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I know lots of people with English degrees and other degrees where you need to keep going to school forever to use it.
It's a
for it to
trap,
be
man.
practical.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Well,
And now they're doing
kids who went to college would like judge kids who went into the trades, and now kind of the joke's on the college kids. They
Yeah.
got the debt. The people in the trades have the skills. They're making the great money. So
Yeah, it's a weird time.
who's laughing now?
Weird times. I think we got sold a bill of bad deals for going to college and racking up student loan debt.
What'd you do? Did you move out when you were 16? Did you get your own place?
No,
or-
I moved out when I was 18. I was still at home working full time until I was 18, and then I moved out.
I remember like maybe we were like 14 or 15. And you were like giving me a tour of your house,
Oh God.
and you were just like. You were like pumped to show me your recliner that you were sleeping on in the basement.
yeah, that was my room,
Because
yeah.
you had like a falling out with your sibling or your folks or something.
Oh, that was we didn't have a giant house, so
Yeah.
I wanted my own room. I didn't want to share with my brother.
So you like built a room in the unfinished
Yeah.
basement next to the water heater. And
Yeah,
you're
it would
just,
flood when it would rain, it would flood.
You're just
so-
sleeping in a recliner.
Yeah, it was just a recliner in a room. Yeah, it was a tiny. Yeah.
How long did you sleep in a recliner?
Oh man, that's
Like
a love.
years?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. That
And it
and
was
the
it was great.
futon.
It was cozy.
Yeah, that recliner got upgraded to a futon eventually, but then it was the entire room was the futon.
And your dad, I remember, he would build like really advanced, huge guitar amps and speakers.
Yeah.
Is he still doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's repairing them.
Okay.
It's kind of his retirement side hustle.
Nice.
Big into the
Should
vintage.
I buy a guitar amp from him?
He'll make you one.
He's pretty advanced, yeah.
He knows a guy that's in a band. He's in Oregon right now,
Okay.
and he makes stuff for this guy's band all the time.
Dang.
Yeah,
Like you can tell him what kind of tone or amp you want, and he can kind of model it to that.
maybe.
It's cool.
Yeah, he's into audio stuff. He's a big audio
I remember
guy.
super advanced in that arena, for
Yeah.
sure. Nice. Well, what are your aspirations for future Levi William Carl Reeme
Oh boy.
besides roading for us this summer?
Well, yeah, that's the big thing on the horizon, I guess. No, just doing stuff with kids. it's fun to watch the kids grow up. It's actually really interesting.
You recommend?
Yeah, definitely, highly recommend. My daughter, she's always game for something new. Mm-hmm. And when I took her to your show, was it like a year ago? I forget. But that was a big deal for her.
Cool.
She was like, "Yeah, I went to a real rock show."
Was that her first show?
That was her first show.
Huge honor.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in love with you, I think.
Always a huge honor when the little kids like get up front and start moshing, at the outdoor shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Summertime vibes.
She's definitely good for that. And the boy's getting there. He's still kind of young.
Yeah, man, it's fun. Like, kids are fun. I've been dating this gal who's got 2 kids. They're 4 and 5.
Oh, that's
so
perfect.
Like,
yeah.
I love it. It's super fun, and they're fun to wrestle and goof around with, and you can just be like,
you can have a conversation with them, and they're trying to figure something out. You can see in their minds that they're, they have like an opinion.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's like, it's fun to be, it lets you be a big kid, and it's like, you can just weird out.
I do a lot of cool stuff, like build model rockets and stuff. I can't do that as an adult by myself.
Or have improvisational conversations that would make no sense in adult life.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, that's one thing I hope for my daughter is that her creativity kind of stays there, and she ends up, because she's big and she loves music stuff. She loves like art stuff. And I mean, most kids do, but it'd be cool if she could turn that into something that she could live with forever.
Yeah.
That's something I never really did. I was never a big creative guy.
I think all you can do is just like have art supplies around, have musical instruments around, and they'll find them if they want them.
Oh, I bought her a drum set. Yeah, she's got a nice little drum set. She pounds on it. Yeah.
Total catharsis.
Yeah. And I think this will be the summer of skateboards, because there's a skate park by my house. I haven't skateboarded in a billion years, but I now have the money where I can go buy all the stuff, dude, and not sweat it and let her rip.
Well, brilliant, dude. Thanks for coming on the pod and talking. Good to catch up.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Let's tour. Let's go around Bayview. We'll go for a walk. I'll show you the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
All right. Levi William Carl Reeme. Great friend of the past, truck driver, captain of the Milwaukee County Airport. Come see us this May. We're all over the road. We're on tour. If you like the pod, actually, please leave a review. That we need to boost our amount of reviews. It takes like 4 seconds. Whatever you use, Apple, Spotify, either one is fine. And that's it.